Hey guys, I'm Peter Blake, host of the Sports Web. After a disappointing loss to the Detroit Lions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose 33-30. I have my co-host here, Leo Haggerty. We're here live on Bucs Report, also the Tan Talk Sports Network tonight. And
welcome to Saturday morning at the Ray J.
I'm telling you, the game was delayed for an hour. It didn't start until 9 o'clock. We're finally over, and at this point, you're kind of looking for the third preseason game to be the biggest indicator on what this team has. And I tell you right now, the first drive, the Buccaneers come right out. They run the ball. Peyton Barber, 5 carries, 34 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. They go right down the field. They score a touchdown. And really, this offense looked good tonight.
Fitzpatrick, 3 for 3 on the first drive, 3 different receivers. And again, it's Peter, I said to you in the press box, the most impressive opening drive I've seen for the Buccaneers in a long time. Now, folks, temper what we're saying. It's preseason. It's the exhibition season. But game 3 is the best you're going to see for a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought the impressive thing was not only Peyton Barber, but Ryan Fitzpatrick. Once again, he continued. He didn't play well versus the Titans last week, but he came out firing 6 for 7. They were aggressive with their play calling. Jameis Winston, once again, he plays well, gets a touchdown to Chris Godwin. I thought he made some good throws. He's continued his preseason. And even Ryan Griffin, to a certain degree, played well. And that's saying a lot because, Leo, coming into this game, they were missing 4 offensive linemen, including Ali Marpet and Donovan Smith. So for them to move the ball as well as they did, that was impressive.
Absolutely. But, Peter, we got to get to the highlight of the night, and that was the 109-yard missed field goal return by former Clemson Tiger Adam Humphrey.
Yeah, Adam Humphries, the Detroit Lions go for a long field goal by Matt Prater, 62 yards. Adam Humphries, 109 kick return touchdown to end the half. And I don't know what that punter is doing, Leo. He was trying to wave his towel. He thought that Adam Humphries was going to actually stop. Humphries didn't stop. He went 109 yards. That was impressive. And I tell you right now, even though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost this game, in the first half, they looked dominant.
Absolutely.
In all 3 facets of the game, not only offensively, defensively, but also with their special teams.
And let's talk about the first points that the Detroit Lions got. Field goal. Second points, field goal. Yeah. And it was off a 90-yard drive that the Buccaneers stopped. It was a bend but not break defense, which is good to see because normally the Buccaneers will give up a touchdown. I thought that Vernon Hargreaves had a very good game. A shaky start on the first 2 or 3 plays. But after that, the Buccaneers start to get a little pass rush. And, again, we saw Golston getting in there a couple times. And, again, they didn't actually get the sacks, but they got the hurries. When a quarterback in the NFL can throw it where he wants to, when he wants to, 2 out of 3 times that defensive back's getting beat. Tonight, Matthew Stafford couldn't do that. That was huge.
Yeah, it was huge because you look at the interior line. You're without Vita Vea. You're without Bo Allen. You're without Mitch Urain. You have guys you're getting off the street by signing Jarrell Worthy. And you got William Golston, who had a sack tonight, played the defensive tackle position. You have Gerald McCoy. Overall, I thought the defense played pretty well. Once again, there were a couple runs here and there, maybe a couple big plays, but only giving up 6 points at the half. Now, the second half, look, that's the second and third string defense. A lot of those players are probably going to not be there anymore after this week and next week because it's a big game next week versus Jacksonville. You're going to really decide who you're going to start and who you're going to keep on this team. But overall, I think, again, the biggest indicator was the third preseason game. And if you looked at how your offense, how your defense, and how your special teams played in that first half, you got to like what you saw.
Absolutely. And again, I give Coach Cutter a lot of credit. He sat Fitzpatrick down midway through the second quarter. Normally, you want your quarterback to play into the third quarter. This is a different animal, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want number 14 getting hurt before the opening day. Please don't get all upset with Winston coming in, getting a preponderance. There's an SAT word of the night. Or the morning. SAT word of the morning.
Yeah.
Getting a preponderance of the snaps in the second quarter. That's because they want to make sure Fitzpatrick is available for that opening game.
Absolutely. So, again, the Buccaneers lose tonight 33-30 in their third preseason game. The Lions come back in the second half. But, again, I take out of the game good quarterback play. running backs. Ronald Jones has received a lot of criticism, and he should have been. I mean, he's a rookie. He hasn't really ran well behind that line, but really
we found out he could catch tonight, didn't we, Peter?
And that's one of the things you have to look at coming into the season, that now the Buccaneers have a weapon and Jones where you can split him out. You get that matchup with the linebacker, and he goes 37 yards, a beautiful pass by Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that was encouraging to see. You got to get that kid space. I think right now Peyton Barber is
he's the number one.
Number one
starter. No doubt.
No doubt he's the number one starter the way he's running right now, north and south. I mean, he just looks like a number one back. But Ronald Jones is going to be a weapon in this season, and eventually when he gets this offense and he understands the pass protections, he's going to be that much better.
And I'll tell you what really helped tonight was what the Buccaneers formationed Jones into a situation where he was the wide receiver to the left-hand side. Now, normally you're going to cover him with a safety. You're going to cover him with a linebacker. When he ran the fly route, caught the ball behind the safety, now all of a sudden it becomes a matchup problem for the defense.
Absolutely. So I'm your host, Peter Blake. He is Leo Haggerty of Night Sports Productions. I do the only FM sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area. Earlier today, it's going to be from 3 to 6 on the Tan Talk Sports Network. WTAN 106.1 FM and 1340 AM. So right now we're going to try to get some questions here because we're live on Bucs Report, see what's going on. I know there's some people up right now as we are just we're just here recapping the game for you. So if you guys have any questions or anything at all that you really want to talk about, go ahead and feel free to ask some questions. But overall, I thought it was a good test tonight against Matt Stafford. He didn't have a lot of time. There were some times there he had a little bit more time than you would like. But again, like you said, the bend, don't break defense, the biggest test coming in to game one versus the New Orleans Saints isn't quarterback play. It's not special teams. It's not your running game. It's the defense. Can you get enough pressure on Drew Brees? Same thing with Matt Stafford. If you give him more than 3 to 5 seconds, he's going to pick you apart.
And the big thing, Peter, I thought, was there was no glaring weakness tonight. There was nothing we could point a finger at and say, boy, that's a real question mark, because we saw a very good play out of the offense. We saw extremely good play out of the defense. We saw a good kicking game, good special teams. The big thing you got to remember about the Buccaneers right now is they've got to get everybody healthy. They've got 4 or 5 guys that are really in their rotation or starters, didn't play.
Right.
And they got to get in the game.
I think I was probably most disappointed with Freddie Martino. He had a couple of drops. Even though he had a touchdown, he had a big drop. I'm not sure if he's going to make this team or not, because Justin Watson, every time you watch this kid play, he's always catching something. He's never dropping it. So I think the Buccaneer coaching staff has a tough decision to make, and that's the reason why you watch the 4th game of the preseason versus the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Somebody says Rojo, one good play all preseason. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the learning curve for a running back, and we talked about this early in training camp, was the fact that you got to pick up pass protections. You can't do the same things you did in college that you can do in the NFL. And now you're seeing, basically you're seeing a kid right now that looks like he's a little bit overwhelmed. But again, to that fact, the offensive line really hasn't opened up the holes for him. And to me, I think he's going to be a weapon eventually for them.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of trying to get the sight down with where he's looking and where he's looking to cut back and to use these God-given gifts that he has. Again, tonight, there weren't a whole lot of places to go when he was running the football. One in particular, they ran a stretch play to the left, and there were more blue shirts there than white. And you know what? Barry Sanders wasn't going to get through there. So we knew that. But what I like about the kid is he doesn't quit. He keeps coming back. He's getting better. And if you're a threat to catch the ball, remember, Dirk Cutter said running back is a misnomer. You got to be a catching back and a blocking back as well. Keep in mind, he probably never threw a block in college, because in Southern Cal, when you're the tailback, you are the tailback. Your job is to tote the leather about 25 or 30 times.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think he's going to get an opportunity to show, but obviously it's Peyton Barber's job to lose at this point. It looks like he's your number 1 running back. Go out to the texting line here. Still don't see an upgrade in Jones over Martin, both equal, except Martin waited 3 years to really suck. I don't know. I mean, again,
don't throw the rookie under the bus right now. Yeah.
Preseason games. Has the guy set the world on fire? Absolutely not, but he's a rookie. So I get it. There's other rookies in the NFL right now. Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb that have performed pretty well. But
yeah, well, Saquon Barkley was the second pick in the draft.
Exactly.
So, you know what? We're talking about a voluminous SAT word of the day. Yes, a voluminous gap between Saquon Barkley and Jones.
Absolutely. So go out to the texting line again. How would Griffin do with first-team reps? I don't want to know. I want Fitzpatrick to be the.
Can we give him the one stat that people don't realize? He's never had a down in a regular season game.
And honestly, I don't want to see that, because if you see that, look, I think the kid's got talent. Griffin's got a lot of talent, but again, it's untested talent. And then on top of it, you had an injury to Fitzpatrick. This team cannot afford another quarterback to come in there and start.
And keep in mind, you know, Winston has a 3-game suspension. He's probably not going to play the 4th game because of the way the schedule's set up. It's a Monday night game. The players get Tuesday off. He's not going to be ready Wednesday, Thursday to go on Sunday. That's just not going to happen. So look for him to be ready for game 5.
Yeah, I mean, game 5 should, well, I mean, you think game 5, you think? You don't think?
All depends on how this team's doing. Again, Peter, I've said to you, and folks, I'm going to preach this. If Fitzpatrick's 3-0, it's going to be tough to get Winston back in the game. Now, again, he didn't lose his job because of ability. He lost it because of situation. But Lou Gehrig brought in the game because the guy got sick. Well, guess what? 2,000-plus games later, that guy never got back on the field.
So with Charles Sims on the IR now, do you think it's Sean Wilson that's going to make this team? Do you think Jacquez Rodgers makes this
I think it's
team?
Rodgers. Simply because Rodgers has experience. He hits the hole hard, and he's tough to find in the hole because he's not that big a guy, and he gets in there among those trees. He's hard to find, and it's not that he's elusive. He just hits that hole quick, and he's one move and go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, we're recapping the loss here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose to the Detroit Lions 33-30. But again,
that's about the only place they lost was on the scoreboard.
Honestly,
it was a lot of pluses tonight.
I could not really see anything negative besides the collapse in the second half. But, again, that's second and third stringers. So we're going to take some questions here. Go Bucs, watching from Davenport, Iowa. Welcome to Bucs Report. We hope to be doing this. Vernon Hargraves looked good in the nickel, and Jordan Whitehead showing some promise. Absolutely. Jay Buck says that. So, yeah, I mean, I think Vernon Hargraves looks good in the nickel. I'm not sure if they're going to start him on the outside. I think they may go with Carlton Davis because he has that ability to play corner one-on-one. And I think Mike Smith is going to run a little bit more one-on-one because he has confidence that Davis can handle it. That's not to say Vernon Hargraves is a bust. I just think maybe he's better at the nickel in the slot.
And let's be honest, in the NFL now, you're going to see more nickel than you are base.
Right.
Simply because of all the spread formations and everything you've got going. Hold on, I got to say hi to one of my former students. How we doing over here? Get in here real quick. How did the game go tonight?
Absolutely great. I know we lost, but good seasons ahead, and we're definitely going to make some noise in NFC South this year.
How many wins do you think?
I'm giving 9 wins. 9 wins.
All right, we're going to see you next Thursday night. Find us.
All right, so 9 wins now. They're saying 9 wins. So
I can live with that.
I could live with 9 wins, too. I would love to see 9 wins here. So.
And you know what? I don't think that's an unrealistic application there at all. You look at what's going on with the Buccaneers. Again, they're in a very tough division. They're in with New Orleans. They're in with Carolina. They're in with Atlanta. Those are 3 playoff teams last year. And that's going to be a tough road to hoe. Again, I said before the season, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 1-5 in the division and still win 8 games.
Exactly. But this division is so tough. You have the Carolina Panthers. You have the
who are just embarrassing the New England Patriots tonight.
Yeah, that was an ugly score tonight. So, again, we'll get your questions here. Let's see here. Can't hear you. That's why we tried to turn up the mic. We're trying this thing right now. We're hoping that they don't turn out the lights, but we're doing Facebook Live.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
I think that's what a lot of Buccaneers Buccaneer fans thought tonight until the second half happened. They got a big punt return. But again, I don't know how much you take out of the second half with the second and third stringers.
It's a grain of salt.
Right.
Absolutely. Because there's guys on the field. And, folks, you think that's bad? Wait till next Thursday night, because it's just going to be a battle of second, third, and fourth teamers to see who they're going to take. Don't be surprised to see the offense in for one series at the max. But, again, you never want your guys to go down when the bullets aren't flying for real.
And hold on, we gotta check this out here. Looks like I don't know what's going on with my mic at this point. I guess our levels are a little bit low. But, again, it's preseason for everybody here. It's preseason here at the Tampa Bay.
Got to work the kinks out.
And we absolutely got to do this, but we're going to do this throughout the season. I think next Thursday night we'll do better. And
also, it won't be 12:45 in the morning.
I'm telling you, man, I'm definitely tired. So I tell you what, we're going to end it here. Again, this has been the Sports Web post-show Tampa Bay Buccaneers live at Raymond James Stadium. I'm your host, Peter Blake. He is
Leo Haggerty, and look for us at about 30 minutes after the final gun goes off.
Absolutely. Sounds good. And definitely tune in to the only FM sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area on Saturday afternoons from 3 to 6 on the Tan Talk Sports Network. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. 3 to 6. It's called The Evolution of Sports Talk Radio.
And you know what we need to do? We need to get a cutout of Sean the Sports Don to set right here, just to stand next to us.
I'm telling you, we definitely need to do that.
He is AWOL again.
Absolutely, he's AWOL, but we'll get him out here. We'll work on this, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you today on the Sports Web, The Evolution of Sports Talk Radio.
Be safe. Are we off?